Hello, how you doing? It's Phil Thatch, and I am in the laundry room looking out the window at the back porch. And this was the first blind I ever used in the house. Um, my sister's husband made me a Bluebird house, a Bluebird box, and the Bluebirds have nested in there for years and years. I've been here 20 years, and the majority of that time there's been that Bluebird nest. And for years I have shot photographs of birds from this window way before I ever had a blind on the back porch. And this year I've festooned a perch near the Bluebird house and have been making some photographs of the bluebirds. They definitely have some nestlings in the box. Of course, I haven't opened it. You can open that box up and take a look, but I don't like to disturb them. But I do enjoy making photographs of the birds as they fly up and land near the Bluebird box with all sorts of creatures, worms and spiders and insects of all sorts. And so I've been making pictures sometimes early in the morning, usually in the evening. Just right here I have the camera attached to the windowsill with a device that I've had for years. And so this video is going to have lots of pictures. Usually if I do a video from the blind, it'll be all done in one morning, but this video is going to have lots of pictures, so you'll get to see lots of photographs of the birds with all sorts of insects in their mouth, which they are feeding. I don't know how many babies they'll have in there. Now the chances of me actually catching the when the birds fledge is pretty slim, because I only have, you know, an hour or so a night when I get home from work before it gets dark to make some shots, and the chances of them fledging at that exact moment is pretty slim. But this is more about, look at the wide variety of prey that the bluebirds bring to feed the nestlings. The first night that I started shooting was May the 27th, and here's some of my first shots, and you can see the beautiful male bluebird there with a spider in its mouth. And now this is a female bluebird, a little bit more subtle the colors, some sort of insect in her mouth. The male has come now with another spider. If you don't like spiders, you should put up a bluebird box. Here's the female with another creature of some sort. And at this point I hadn't made my perch out there. This is another shot of the female, I think with that same bug that she had in the last shot. And here is the female with yet another bug of some sort in her mouth, and I think this is that same bug there. So there's my shots from the first night. I went back into the laundry room and did some more photography the next night, and here is the female Eastern Bluebird. She's got something out of the nut and berry feeder in her mouth, and now she's moved over to the new perch that I set up out there, still with that item from the nut and berry feeder. Now she's on that same perch, but she's got something else, an insect of some sort. And here she is closer to the porch. You can see where the stick is near the porch. This is an Eastern Phoebe that was down near the raspberry bush that I have planted in the yard, so I had to get a shot of that. Now the female Eastern Bluebird has a spider. I love it when they capture spiders for the nestlings. This is another shot of that same spider. And now here is Lefty, the Carolina wren with the deformed left foot, and he's gotten really wet. This is the male Eastern Bluebird poking its head out of the Bluebird house, and now this is the male Eastern Bluebird up on the perch that I set out there for them to land on. Here's the female with an earthworm, and if you look closely you can see there's an ant on the earthworm, and here's another shot of the same, and you can see the ant much better in this shot. Now the brown thrasher has landed on the porch, so I had to get a shot of the brown thrasher, and now we're back to the bluebirds, where she is on one of the bird feeder holders with some sort of grub in her mouth. And here is the male with a larval state insect of some kind. I went out the next morning for just a few minutes and got this one shot of the male there on the bluebird box. And then that same night I went back out and made a few shots as well. Here is a female house finch that's landed on my bluebird perch. And here is the female Eastern Bluebird that's captured an earthworm. And next up we have the male Eastern Bluebird that has a katydid or some sort of insect like that. And then I made a video clip now that I had the tripod set up of the female bluebird there with the earthworm in her mouth. Tough light in the evening. It's coming in from the right, and in the morning it'll be coming in from the left. So I started shooting a little bit more in the morning after this. I didn't go out on the 30th, but on the 31st I went back out that evening. Here is the female Eastern Bluebird on the perch that I set up. She's got a spider, and now the female has another earthworm. It's amazing all the varieties of things that they get. And now here is the male, and it has maybe an earthworm or some other sort of creature, I'm not sure. I managed to get a video clip of the female with a spider in her mouth as she flew down to feed the nestlings in the nest, and I made another clip of the male there on the perch that I put out for the birds with something in his mouth as well. I got up early on June the 2nd and spent just a few minutes outside before I got ready for work. Look at the female bluebird. She's so proud of her beetle that she's captured for the youngsters. And here is the male on the bluebird house. He's done some feeding, and now the female again. This is something from the nut and berry bird feeder that she has for the nestlings. I got up early again on June the 4th and didn't get any pictures of the bluebirds that morning, but I did get this shot of the northern cardinal that was on the redbud tree, which is kind of straight out the window from the laundry room, where the bluebird house is kind of to the right out the window from the laundry room. But I was really happy with the cardinal in the redbud tree. I went out for a few minutes the following morning, and it was a nice, warm, beautiful light that morning directly on the birds. And here's the male. He's coming out of the house with a spider in his mouth. Here he is on the outside of the birdhouse with that same spider. And now he's moved still further away. He's up on the perch, still with the spider. And one more shot of the beautiful male Eastern Bluebird with the spider. Then he flew off, and the next time I saw him, he had no prey to take to the nestlings, which I'm thinking they're not there anymore. Next time I saw a bird, it was the female, and she had no prey. And then I saw the male again, and he had nesting material, like they were ready to start over or something. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't know if the nestlings fledged or if some sort of predator came up and got them somehow. But here is the female. She's up on the branch that I put out there to make photos of the birds on. And the male is inside the birdhouse. And I don't know if they're starting over or if the nestlings have fledged and I just didn't see it when they fledged, but I never did see the birds feed them. As a matter of fact, I've never seen the birds feed any of the nestlings that they've had over the years. I've never seen them feed them on the outside of the birdhouse, but I've definitely seen one batch fledge over the years, but usually I'm not home when they fledge. But I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, take a moment and give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see some more videos like this one, take a second and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a bunch. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.